Why Deja Vu Fools You into Feeling Psychic. You walk into a room you have never entered before, and something is wrong. Every part of you insists you have stood in this exact spot, in this exact light, hearing these exact words before. Worse than that, for half a heartbeat, you feel certain you know what is about to happen next. Then the feeling drains away, and you are left standing in a perfectly ordinary room, faintly haunted. You have just been lied to, twice, by the one thing you trust most in the world, your own brain. Because here is the strange part. That flash of familiarity is not a memory, and that eerie sense of knowing what comes next is not a prediction. Both feelings are real. Both feelings are vivid. And research suggests both feelings are completely, cheerfully false. So the real question is not, have I been here before? The real question is why your brain is so confidently wrong, and why being wrong feels exactly like being right. To understand déjà vu, stop picturing your memory as a filing cabinet. Picture it as a smoke alarm. A smoke alarm does not tell you what is burning. It screams one word: familiar. Most of the time it goes off for a good reason. A real fire, a real memory, a genuine match to something you have seen. But every so often it trips with no fire at all, a stray wisp of similarity, a new room that happens to share the shape of an old one you have completely forgotten. The alarm screams familiar just as loudly as ever. Your conscious mind spins around looking for the fire, and finding none, it feels the strangest thing a mind can feel: familiarity, floating free, hooked to absolutely nothing. You have felt a smaller version of this your whole life. It is the tip of your tongue when you cannot find a word. You know that you know it. You can almost taste it, and it will not come. Déjà vu is that exact feeling, but for a whole moment instead of a single word. Your brain saying, I know this, trust me, I know this, and being quietly, hopelessly mistaken. For a long time, this was almost impossible to study, because you cannot schedule déjà vu for 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. So a team of researchers did something clever. They built it. Using virtual reality, they walked people through dozens of little digital worlds, a courtyard, a museum, a junkyard, and they hid a trick inside. Every so often, a brand new scene was secretly built with the exact same layout as an earlier scene the person had already seen and forgotten. Same skeleton, new skin. The perfect recipe for that free-floating familiarity. And it worked. In those matched scenes, people reported the unmistakable shiver of déjà vu. Then, in the middle of that feeling, the researchers asked one simple thing. The scene is about to move. Can you tell me which way it turns next? Now, if déjà vu were a genuine glimpse of a hidden memory, people should have guessed the next turn better than chance. They did not. Deep in the grip of déjà vu, their ability to predict the next turn was no better than flipping a coin. But here is the whole mystery in a single sentence. They felt far more certain that they could. The feeling of knowing shot up. The actual knowing never moved. And later work sharpened the blade. When researchers deliberately turned up how familiar a scene felt, the false sense of predicting the future rose right along with it. Turn up the familiarity, and you turn up the fortune-telling, even though the fortune-telling is empty. Here is where it becomes genuinely unsettling. That feeling of prediction does not actually point forwards in time at all. It arrives first. Then your brain quietly backdates it so it feels like foresight. A little like hearing a joke, laughing, and then insisting you saw the punchline coming. And there is a deeper layer underneath. Recent research suggests déjà vu is only the loud, obvious version of something your mind does quietly, all day long. Whenever your attention drifts, in a queue, on a train, halfway through the washing up, your memory keeps faintly firing in the background. A weak pulse gives you a wisp of familiarity. A strong pulse gives you a full-blown memory. Déjà vu is simply a pulse that landed exactly in between. Strong enough to feel like something, too weak to actually be anything. Which means déjà vu is not a fault in the machine. It is one of the only moments you ever get to watch the machine working. Every waking second, your brain runs on 2 quiet guesses. what here is familiar, and what happens next. Almost always, those guesses are invisibly right, and you simply call the result reality. Déjà vu is the rare occasion when both guesses misfire at once, loudly, in a room you can see. The certainty stays, the truth falls out. So the next time that ghost walks over your grave, do not reach for a past life or a hidden power. You are watching your own brain do the astonishing, faintly terrifying thing it does every single second. Guess and feel sure. Déjà vu is not evidence that you have been here before. It is evidence of how little it takes to feel certain that you have. And if the feeling of certainty can come this cleanly unhooked from the truth, how many of your other rock-solid certainties are just a smoke alarm with no fire? If you enjoyed this strange little journey, subscribe and help us reach 1 million curious minds. There are many more weird facts hiding in plain sight, and we intend to bother all of them. The only question left is which one we bother next.